In Isaiah 58, it talks about the true fast, the true Shabbat. They are very similar. Fasting is not feeding the desires of the flesh. Shabbat is not working for the flesh. When someone works for the flesh, what are they doing? Satisfying its desires. That's why the fast of Shabbat is the same thing. In other words, they are directly connected, and that's why Yahweh explains them both in Isaiah 58, in the same chapter. One should live in fasting, live in Shabbat. Is that clear? I'm not talking about physical fasting, because otherwise you die, right? I'm talking about spiritual fasting, and every now and then you throw in a physical fast, right? Like the ones we see on a calendar, so that the flesh doesn't bad habit. So it says, and you honor it, not going your own ways, nor seeking your own will, nor speaking your own words, nor speaking your own words. In other words, speaking about Scripture, what Scripture says. People spend the whole week, right? Talking about work, that I want to buy a car, that I want to find another job, like, did you see the game, and no man this and that. Your own words, what your flesh is interested in, but on Shabbat, speak about Scripture, about what matters to the Almighty Father. Is that clear? And you honor it, not going your own ways, nor seeking your own will, nor speaking your own words, like the false names. By using the false names, you are not keeping Shabbat, because you are speaking however you want, not with the words that Yahweh left. Do I make myself clear? A person who does not keep the names is not keeping Shabbat, no matter if they stay the whole 24 hours of Saturday. They are not keeping Shabbat because they are not speaking Yahweh's words. They are speaking their own words, whatever they want, whatever their heart tells them, because they say, He knows my heart. Nor seeking your own will, nor speaking your own words. Then you will delight yourself in Yahweh. You will delight yourself in Yahweh. See how it said just now, if you call it a delight, you will delight yourself in Yahweh, the one who was. And it is saying, if you love turning away from evil, if you love seeking Yahweh, you will start to delight in that. People expect it to just come naturally to them. Oh, I just want to feel like going to the congregation. But actually, it's the other way around when they say, I'm going to go to the congregation. Thoughts come up like, ugh, what a drag, what's the point? No way, what am I even going to do there? So, people expect to suddenly feel like saying, wow, I'm going to set aside an hour to read. That's never going to happen. You have to do it. So when you make that effort, instead of just going with the flow and doing whatever you feel like, but actually doing what Yahweh says at that moment, you'll start to delight in Him. And that's when you'll start to say, wow, I didn't know it was this nice. How could I have forgotten, right? Because there are people who come back after a long time and say, wow, I had forgotten what it felt like, what it was. So when you start doing it, you start to delight in it. People want to feel delighted first in order to start doing it. That's not how it works.